In a recent interview, Ant-Man star Paul Rudd was asked about his physique, especially in the first Ant-Man film, and the glory of the superhero diet. And he goes on and talks about how there is no glory, it's absolutely awful, and your reward is a cup of water. Obviously, superheroes have impressive physiques. Therefore, the actors playing them have to portray these comic book heroes as sort of like the peak of humanity. And of course, this isn't anything new. Back in Hollywood, in the heyday of action films, late 70s going into the 80s and the 90s, it was all about your Schwarzeneggers, your Dolph Lundgrens, your Sylvester Stallones, big, muscly dudes. Then the superhero age started, and then we really started to see it take off with the MCU, with the likes of Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and shirtless scenes. So Paul Rudd had to get in on it, and obviously he looked great, not as jacked as some of those other dudes, but yeah, recently in an interview he was asked about this, and how do they do it, and what's the superhero diet like? And he said he absolutely hates it. He says every day he was doing it, all he can think about is, how can I keep existing like this since this is literally killing me? It's killing me to look like this, and I gotta keep doing it. And he reveals that he was lucky because he just got to play Ant-Man. He's not Thor, so he didn't have to go through all that stuff that can seriously, hurt you. And he says it's one of these things that you have to eat perfectly, drink perfectly, work out, get the exact amount of everything proper down to a T, and then after 8, 12, 16 weeks of dieting, hard workouts, no fun, your reward is a seltzer water with flavor. Now, of course, this isn't anything new for anybody that's followed any amount of fitness. Once you get in there, if you develop body dysmorphia, it's much worse for you. If you're one of these actors who's going to get paid well, you're still doing everything, but you're also on the gear. And despite what people tell you, yes, The Rock is on it. Don't be stupid. Even people like Paul Rudd will have to get in on it. It's going to build muscle and shred fat faster than doing it naturally. So, I get what he's saying. He hates it, and it hurts him, and he hates the superhero diet and the glorification of it. And honestly, it's just kind of become standard in Hollywood. They just feed you what it is, and they hope you fall for it. But once you start getting into it, which is what a lot of actors have sort of hinted at without openly saying it, this hurts your body. And Paul Rudd did not need to be in his 50s doing gear and starving himself. That's just not a good way to live.